Hello, Virgo, and welcome to your love reading for February 2019. I'm Jade with Yes, Yes, Yes. And for all of you who are brand new tuning in, thank you and welcome to my channel. I do love readings specifically once a month, and this is a special month because it's Love Month. So this will be a really interesting reading. And for those of you who are already subscribers, thank you so much. I'm really enjoying this journey with you. So I want to just give some gratitude for your likes and your shares and your subscribes. All of your comments are so helpful, and I really love hearing the feedback. So if any of this is resonating for you, please drop me a line in the comment box. I'd love to hear from it, or just click that like button. It's the easiest thing, and it's really helpful for the channel, so I really appreciate that. So let me tell you how we're going to do it today. We're going to start with the romance angels to get like an overall view of what's going on for you. And then I'm going to look at the mystical Lenormand deck, and we'll see the path between the masculine and feminine, however that lays out. And then finally we'll do the Line Strider deck, and that'll give us more energies as to what's going on between the two. All right, so more information about the decks is in the box below. And if you are interested in a personal reading, my website is also in the box below. I'd love to work with you. So we'll get started here, starting with the romance angels. We'll see what the overall view is for Virgo for February 2019. Okay, flirt. Time to flirt, Virgos. Extend your light-hearted energy to others. I think Capricorn got this too. So it's interesting because Virgo gets a bad rap. Capricorn gets a bad rap. You're really tough on yourselves, Virgos. So I think that this is telling you to lighten up a bit. Enjoy life. Enjoy what's coming for you. And, you know, this may be a long-term love. Who knows what's coming towards you? Or this just may be an opportunity to play, to get your social butterflyness on, to feel young and carefree. And we all deserve that. So that's what's happening for you right now. Now I'm going to see the path between the masculine and the feminine, what's going on, how we can see where this journey begins for you this month. For Virgo, where does this begin? Okay. All right. So what I'm looking for is the masculine and the feminine card, and then we'll see the path between the two. So I will stop once I see one or the other. There's the feminine. All right. So it looks like the feminines are moving towards the masculines this month. Ooh, we have the heart, and then we have the cross and the child, and there's the masculine. Interesting. Okay, I'm going to make this so that we'll do it this way. Sure, we can do a diagonal. Why not? All right. So the way in which in English I read, in English, left to right, so that's why I was saying that the feminine was moving towards the masculine. Now, what's happening is the center card here is the cross. So I have a woman who's loving, who is the beloved even, but a very like, and this, you know, if this is you, feminine Virgos, your heart is so full. People know how loving you are. You're someone who magnetizes people to around you, who can celebrate this loving large heart. I'm just seeing like, you know, motherly energy. Just you overflow with love. Okay, this is really your essence right now, which is beautiful. And it's really, it might feel like it's a weight, right? Like you're so loving, you wear your heart on your sleeve, and that in the past you've been hurt a lot, okay? So I feel like that's really your connection point. And I feel like that hurt, that burden, you know, the fact that this is what you are known for is what's going to connect you to your person. Your person, your masculine, is really connected towards, he's either a very, like maybe he has children, so he's a father, and that's, you know, is the burden, and it's just a responsibility, not necessarily a burden, but it's definitely a weight to bear. The other thing is that your masculine might be younger or a little bit immature, and that in himself might be the burden, right? So the connection here between you two is the essences of who you are, okay? So the connection of it being a bit of, it's obvious, it doesn't have to be a burden if you don't want it to be, but the cross is a very heavy card in that, it's just obvious, right? It's the obviousness, the obvious nature of what's going on in our world. It's how we accept. It's the acceptance of who we are. And so that's why, we have to accept it for the feminine, that we are this loving, motherly, and openly, you just have to give and give. And it's because that's who you are. It doesn't mean that you're not capable of receiving. It just means that you're known to give so much. The same thing here with the masculine is that, this masculine is either known as, a father figure, or he's known as being someone who is younger acting, slightly immature, or someone who is, and it could be new too, right? So it could just be he's someone who, it could be like a playboy, right? But I think that this connection here between the two, maybe you're trying to transcend this being, how you're being known. So it's really quite interesting, because being able to transcend the roles in which we have played, changing that even if you want to, but it's really these roles in between, that's what's your connection point, okay? So feminines, you're going to be seen as this loving energy. Bring that. Masculine, okay, if this is your energy of being a playboy, you're going to have to bring that, but also know that there's this incredible woman here who can meet you, okay? And she can see you and see the burdens that you bear with that role. And your masculine will see you, feminine, for the burdens that you bear of being the one who provides all the love, okay? This is very deep right here. I'm going to leave it up here just as a reflecting point. So there's a lot of depth, and I think that's pretty incredible. Now, what's interesting is that it's contrary to flirt, but what I will say is that masculine, if you are the playboy type, if it's been a while since you've been in a relationship, maybe you're helping this feminine lighten her heart, okay? And feminine, if you are meeting this masculine, total playboy type, not somebody that you'd ever get in a relationship with, and that's okay. Maybe what you're doing is you are warming his heart, okay? So you're helping him to be a little bit deeper. But it may not be something that lasts. We'll see, okay? We'll see if there's something more here. We're going to go into the line strider now for Virgo for February 2019. Okay, let's see what's going to come up. I know that's not really centered, but that's life. All right, sneakiness. We have some getting out of a situation that doesn't serve you, okay? I'm feeling that is really what you're doing here with branching out of these roles, okay? Getting past these roles that you have been playing or have been that's been put upon you, okay? Feminine, you're a little dissatisfied. We were talking about that. So being this kind-hearted, big-hearted, loving woman who might be taken advantage of, this is dissatisfying. We need to find the balance here, okay? I feel like there's also a little bit of, this card also gives us the hint that maybe we're sitting in this energy in a self-satisfying way. So just keep that in mind. Check yourself if you're putting yourself into this victimhood because it feels good, to be a victim rather than to be the one who puts yourself there. Do you see what I'm saying? So just check yourself that you're not playing the victim role. All right. But I do feel like you want to move through this. Obviously, we've talked about it. And for masculine, in the past, you might have not been included in, going out with friends. What I'm feeling is that you have chosen to be a playboy because when you were true to yourself, when you were honest with your feelings, the kind of relationships you might have been stomped on, right? And you might have been left out. And so I'm feeling like you chose this role as a protector, as a protection, a self-protection mechanism. Okay. Now, here's the other thing. If we're talking about a man with children, and I'm kind of leaving that out a little bit, you might have felt left out. So it might have been that, there was a decision made with the courts and you didn't have your children, but now you do. Maybe you're getting more time with your children. So I'm feeling like you're being included now with that role. All right, let's move on. We've got the Chariot in reverse and the Hermit. Okay, so feminine, you're resisting this change. You're resisting changing this way. Now, it's really hard to say, I don't want to be loving anymore. Okay, I get that, Virgo. And I'm not telling you to not be loving anymore. What I'm telling you to do is to lighten it up a bit. Maybe not look at it as being like a long-term relationship. Maybe not looking at it as it's got to be, the depth. This feels like more Scorpio, like once you love, it's all in, right? Maybe it's just learning a lighter way of being so that you can transcend and learn a different way of love. That's all, just a different way of loving. Now, masculine, if you have been kind of hiding out a bit in the wintertime, it's time to move forward, okay? It's time to come out in the world. Now, it's interesting. Actually, I'm sorry, I'm reading this as it's opposing. What it's actually saying is that you are in this energy, the Hermit, which might be fine because, if you are the Playboy type, it might be fine for you to be in that energy. Now, just hermiting, again, is natural for the winter time. Just be aware if you are keeping yourself away from life, right? Make sure that you're still active and connected. Okay, it's really easy to remove yourself, so much so that you've disconnected. Okay, feminine, we have 5 of Wands. Masculine, we have 7 of Wands. So there's something going on where there's a struggle. Okay, for both of you, masculine standing his ground and making his boundaries known. I wonder if this is the children. This is you fighting that case and making sure that you can get your children. If it's you as a Playboy, it's you saying, look, there's no relationship that I can't do a relationship. This is, I'm just gonna hit it and quit it, or whatever it is for you, whatever your boundaries are in relationship. I think you're stating them. For feminine, I think you're struggling with this role, really struggling with wanting to have the relationship and not really seeing the depth of love, the breadth is what I should say, the width of love. The fact that you could have all kinds of different types of love, and you're missing out because you're only focused on this one type. Okay, so just keep that in mind. I don't want to, keep beating a dead horse necessarily, and if that isn't resonating, let's say that this struggle is really about as open-hearted as you have been. It's really been a struggle for you to find that deep connection with someone, okay? And it's not to say that that's not coming. And it's not to say that that's not possible with this person either. But right now, what I'm reading here in the card is that it's just been a struggle for you because of how big and open your heart is. 5 of Cups energy, the fact that it's turning around is great. It's in the reverse, which means that you're coming out of not feeling, again, it's similar to that dissatisfaction there, right? So it's coming out of that, okay? Really being okay with who you are and giving yourself all of the love, feeling fulfilled by the love that you are, not necessarily connected with anyone else. 3 of Pentacles for the masculine is really building something in the future, which is totally contrary. So I like that. I like that the masculine is really starting to take more of a responsible role, or looking towards the future and not necessarily hiding out, not necessarily worried about if this is, just dealing with having the children, right? Really meeting in this role of responsibility is beautiful. 2 of Wands for the feminine, 7 of Cups for the masculine, both in the reverse. Oh, I said 2, but I meant 10. I'm sorry. feminine, you are putting that burden down. This is beautiful. We're moving past that. So I don't have to beat that dead horse anymore. Thank goodness. We are lightening this up. We are putting all of the weight of being this beautiful, loving creature down. Okay. You can love, but you don't have to hold all of the love, right? You can spread it out little by little all around the world. That's great. I love this. And then for the masculine, whatever choices you felt like you had, and if this is Playboy energy, you are honing in on the fact that those choices are not, they are not serving you. They're not providing you the richness in life that you want. And if you are a man with children, right? If you're the father figure here, if you're not the immature one, what I'm finding is that everything is kind of slowly working itself out. You're thinning. What is that term? Well, I can't think of it right now, but you're gosh, there's this great term, but anyway, you're basically, you're weeding out. Let's just use that. You're weeding out what's unnecessary in life, right? So you're streamlining. What's going to make you either the best father, or what's going to serve you. If you want to be a single man, it's going to serve you the best, and it may not be being with tons of different people, okay? And then ultimately, Judgment card. Now I feel like when these cards come in, even if they're in the reverse, it's possible to turn them around. And so Judgment coming in the reverse is telling us, it's prompting that, you know, we want to step forward in our best and our highest selves, right? The Judgment card is, you know, step forward in your destiny. Being true to yourself, really being provided the gifts of living, of righteous living, you know, living true to yourself. That's coming for you. And there's also this this destiny and this connection and healing that comes from the Judgment card as well. With it being reversed, it's like it's not taunting you, teasing you, saying, look, this is all you need to do is, you know, for the feminine, all you need to do is be okay with lightening your love, right? Love deeply yourself and love everyone lightly and beautifully and purely, right? Just make sure that you're taking care of you, and you're not, the term is, you are filling your cup and you're giving the overflow out, right? Keep your cup full and just give what's overflowing. And then for the masculine, if you are interested in staying as a single man, then really make that known. I don't think it's serving you, though. I think that's what's going on, is that you're coming to this new realization of, you know, maybe it's time for you to not be single. Maybe it's time for you to move past just flirtation. And I feel like the contrast between the two of you is really what's going to provide this connection, and make this Judgment card, you know, give you guys the learned knowledge, the experience, and the destiny that you're really working towards, that we're moving away from the Seven of Swords energy of serving yourself and really serving your higher self ultimately. So Virgo, that's a really interesting read today. So it looks like the overall energy is for the ladies to lighten up and for the masculine to get a little bit more real. So, and I think the two of you together are going to help each other out. So that's what I have for you, Virgo. So if this is resonating, I'd really like to hear about how it's kind of unfolding for you this month. So drop me a comment or click that like button if you're feeling it. Yeah, so interesting. And for now, I'm going to send you all of my love.